assessing existing processes and delivering new standardized guidelines to improve the disbursement, communication, and management of NELFund student loans nationwide.
And the second term of reference that this committee will work on to decide on timelines on when NELFund will pay the universities. They will come up with clear timelines that NELFund will pay every quarter or at the beginning of the semester, whatever timeline they come up with, and if NELFund is paying, meeting those obligations of timely payment, the issue of student getting the fund will be totally eliminated.
The minister says the final recommendations would be shared publicly once the committee submits its reports. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
The governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, has reiterated his administration's commitment to strengthening interagency cooperation for enhanced security across the state. The governor stated this while receiving the Assistant Inspector General of Police, AIG Kanoyo Uzoegbu, who is on a familiarization tour of Zone 9, Umuahia. Amarachi Ibe reports.
Welcoming the AIG and his team, Governor Hope Uzodinma emphasized the need for continued partnership between the state government and the Nigerian police force, noting that the security challenges confronting the nation require coordinated efforts and high-level professionalism.
Nigerian police is one, anywhere and everywhere. I urge you people to give him support. I urge you to work together. Support yourselves. Discourage internal disagreements.
He further urged the AIG to deploy his vast experience and leadership to strengthen the policing structure of the zone, especially in the fight against crime and other security threats in the region.
Government and the people of Imo State, and indeed the 5 eastern states, I'm the chairman of Southeast Governors Forum. Part of the headache we have today is the insecurity in the Southeast. So we are not going to trivialize any arrangement that will strengthen security and secure the peace and order in this region. We are with you, and God is with us.
On his part, AIG Uzoegbu pledged the commitment of the Nigerian police force to improve service delivery through community-focused policing and strategic cooperation.
They have to be careful with all their campaigns. The border disabled and fight fellow crime criminals, criminal elements. Go after them when they are comfortable with them. They should make sure that they are proper animals to get out of the state free. These are expectations of the state. So that if I come and look, I know you're in the state here, when I look at reflect and say, this is the state. State indeed a great one.
The visit of the Zone 9 police chief is seen as a strategic move to foster stronger synergy between security agency and the state government in the collective fight for peace and order in the region. From Government House Owerri, Amarachi Ibe reporting for Global TV News.
Tension has been reported in parts of Ogun and Lagos states over rumors of deadly rice in circulation. However, the Nigerian Customs Service in Lagos and Ogun debunked the claims, saying there was no deadly rice in circulation. A statement by the Nigerian Customs Service Seme Area Command Public Relations Officer Isa Sulaiman says the narrative was entirely false, misleading, and did not reflect the reality of the matter. The Nigerian Senate has commenced moves to pass the Federal Capital Territory 2025 budget of 1.78 trillion naira. Leader of the Senate, Okpeyemi Bamidele, led the debate on the bill after President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, read the letter urging the upper legislative chamber to pass the budget. Global Television brings you details.
The total sum of 1,723,708,392 naira only.
After the debate, senators unanimously passed the bill for second reading and thereafter referred to the Senate Committee on FCT to revert back in 1 week.
What we need to do as the State House of Assembly of the FCT is to keep on tracking revenues and the utilization of those revenues. You need budgetary support to sustain the infrastructural development that we have seen. And last year, when we debated the bill, I pointed out that the only way we can bring high cost of land down is by opening up new areas.
The bill, according to the Senate, seeks to, among other things, address infrastructure development and job creation, as well as other critical sectors like education, health, agriculture, etc.
For the service of the Federal Capital Territory Abuja for the financial year commencing from 1st day of January and ending on the 31st day of December 2025. Second reading read.
A breakdown of the bill shows that 150 billion naira is for personnel cost, 343 billion naira is earmarked for overhead costs, while balance of 1.28 trillion naira is for capital projects. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting. Governor Hyacinth Alia of Benue State has called for assistance in facilitating the return of internally displaced persons, IDPs, to their homes. Alia made the call at the North Central Regional Consultation on the harmonization of the National Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Framework in Makurdi. The Rural Electrification Agency has organized a 3-day retreat to address challenges around renewable energy and mini-grid in Nigeria. The retreat, which is in collaboration with Rural Electrification Fund and other key stakeholders held in Abuja, aims to critically brainstorm on the e-Heart initiatives. Samuel Odi completes the story.
Stakeholders and participants gathered in their numbers to brainstorm on energy challenges being faced by rural communities in Nigeria. The Executive Director of Rural Electrification Fund, Doris Obong, says the fund will deploy 3,700 solar power mini-grids and renewable energy solutions to primary healthcare centers, schools, agriculture, and transportation.
It means generating almost 93 megawatts of clean energy through renewable energy solutions, especially through solar solutions, mini-grids, solar home systems, and all of that. And we intend to do this, like I said, across the country, 25 communities per state. It will be injecting 2.5 megawatts of clean energy into every state, into their energy space. So we intend to come up with a workable implementation plan, have a good operational guidelines to ensure that the implementation, execution of this project becomes seamless.
Deputy Director, Rural Electrification Fund, Dr. Al-Hassan Ahmed, said the initiative, when implemented, would boost healthcare delivery, agricultural activities, among others. There is no doubt that rural communities are crucial to the nation's development, as such, efforts need to be made to provide sustainable energy solutions to such areas to improve their standards of living. Samuel Odi, reporting for Global Television News.
You're watching the live broadcast of the News Express. When News Express returns, PM Stammer says UK may set up migrant return hubs in other nations. Details coming shortly after the break. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. In business, the House of Representatives has urged the Federal Ministry of Finance and the Nigeria Customs Service to provide a detailed explanation of the methodology and criteria used in determining the 2% import surcharge remittance. They further called for the publication of a transparent framework for calculating and implementing the surcharge in line with the provisions of the Raw Materials Research and Development Council Act 2022. Global Television brings you details. The House directed the Federal Ministry of Finance to ensure the accurate calculation and immediate remittance of all outstanding arrears of the 2% import surcharge to the Raw Materials Research and Development Council. This resolution followed the adoption of a motion moved by Honorable Aliu Abdullahi, who expressed concern over persistent irregularities in the calculation and remittance of the surcharge to the RMRDC. He noted that at present, the council is being paid a negligible amount of 0.05% with undefined sources, while warning that the lack of transparency and accountability in the remittance process undermines the intent and provisions of Section 12, Subsection 1, Subsection B of the RMRDC Act.
Worried that these irregularities or discrepancies, the lack of clarity created in the disbursement of the fund, arbitrarily void the provision or the law and have greatly hampered the development of the nation and continued to serve as a clog in the wheel of progress.
In a separate resolution, the House also directed the Federal Ministry of Health and the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) and the Primary Healthcare Development Agency to enforce mandatory diphtheria immunization testing and treatment in healthcare facilities across all 774 local government areas of the country. Furthermore, the House tasked the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation to intensify public sensitization campaigns on the dangers, symptoms, and modes of transmission of diphtheria in a bid to curb its spread and prevent further fatalities. This followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance moved by Honorable Beatrice Lowry, who lamented that diphtheria continues to thrive in Africa due to low vaccination coverage. He observed that the disease remains virtually absent in countries such as the United States and those in Europe, where vaccination rates are high, stressing that diphtheria primarily threatens unvaccinated individuals, especially those who travel internationally or come in contact with infected persons.
That from May 2022 to February 2025, Nigeria has reported 41,978 suspected cases of diphtheria from Bauchi, Borno, Jigawa, Kaduna, Katsina, with Kano and Yobe states accounting for the highest number, 24,062 and 5,330 respectively.
The House of Representatives also passed bills to amend the North, Central, South-South, Southwest, and Southeast Development Commission Act 2025.
Consider the report on the bill for an act to amend the North Central Development Commission Act 2025 and for related matters and approve clauses 1 to 4, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill.
The bill is expected to pave the way for the appointment of additional executive directors to bolster administrative efficiency within the regional bodies. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting. On the foreign scene, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa will meet U.S. counterpart Donald Trump in Washington to discuss bilateral, regional, and global issues of interest. Tensions have been rising for months over a range of policy issues, culminating this week in the United States, resettling a first group of white Afrikaners that Trump claims are facing persecution in South Africa. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer says UK will begin talks with other countries on return hubs for failed asylum seekers. Starmer is under pressure to cut the number of irregular migrants arriving on UK shores, many in small boats, amid the rising popularity of the hard-right and anti-immigrant Reform UK party. In sports, the Nigeria Olympic Committee has launched a new safeguarding initiative and mental health platform ahead of the 22nd National Sports Festival in Ogun State. The initiative includes the unveiling of a comprehensive safeguarding handbook and the introduction of Safe Space, a dedicated platform designed to promote athlete welfare, provide psychological support, and strengthen protective measures across Nigeria's sporting landscape. Nottingham Forest striker Taiwo Awoniyi has woken from an induced coma after undergoing surgery to repair a serious abdominal injury. Awoniyi had the first part of the surgery on Monday after sustaining a ruptured intestine during a match. To end the News Express, here is a recap of our top stories. To curb escalating insecurity across Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu has approved the establishment of a National Forest Guard system and ordered the recruitment of over 130,000 armed operatives to secure the country's 1,129 forest reserves. In business, the House of Representatives has urged the Federal Ministry of Finance and the Nigeria Customs Service to provide a detailed explanation of the methodology and criteria used in determining the 2% import surcharge remittance. On the foreign scene, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa will meet U.S. counterpart Donald Trump in Washington to discuss bilateral, regional and global issues of interest. And in sports, we told you the Nigeria Olympic Committee has launched a new safeguarding initiative and mental health platform ahead of the 22nd National Sports Festival in Ogun State. That's it on Global Television News Express. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276, and free to air on NIGECOMSAT. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. You can also download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I am Queen Agapa. Thank you for watching and see you again.